On a cold night in Baltimore, Maryland, the Ravens fans are filing in for their team's game against the Green Bay Packers. The Week 15 edition of Monday Night Football is now.
Yellow. Oh, hi there. Really? Wow, I'm honored. Who's playing? Ugh. Oh, yikes. Yeah, Brett Favre is a lot of fun to watch. Oh, yeah, I am kind of busy. I do have this thing coming up, but no, you're right. It's Monday night. What better chance to tell everyone on your Christmas list? Are you ready for some football? Ooh. Oh, that Mrs. Claus.
Not easy to ignore, but the Ravens make you say, nevermore. The fans are up for the ride of their life. They're coming off the line for a showdown tonight. Come on in. Come on and get ready. Are you ready for some football? A Monday night party. Al and John have the key. Let's get this baby started. Better buckle up, Super Bowl 40's in sight.
Yes, it is Monday Night Football on ESPN. The Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens about ready to kick things off at M&T Bank Stadium. Mark Brown with you for now from our Bristol studios of ESPN. As always, we'll send you out to Al Michaels and John Madden with the call, and they'll get a little help from Sam Ryan. Well, Brett Favre will be making his 30th all-time Monday Night Football appearance. Will it be his last? A lot of speculation about Brett Favre's future. Will he call it a career after this season? If he does, he won't be going out on top. The Packers come in at just 3-10, last place in the NFC North, and Favre's thrown for a league-high 22 interceptions, still throws the ball fearlessly, trying to make plays, but he doesn't have quite the same number of playmakers around him or an offensive line that protects him particularly well. The results have not been great for Favre. He's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns, still over 3,000 yards on the season. On Monday Night Football, he is 17-12 all-time, second only to Dan Marino in all these categories. Just shy of 7,000 passing yards on Monday night, 54 touchdowns, and those 17 wins. He'd love to get number 18 tonight in this Week 15 edition. His quarterback counterpart is not nearly as established. The resume certainly lacking in his third season. Kyle Bowler, well, is thought to have been the franchise quarterback for Brian Billick and the Ravens. It hasn't quite worked out that way. Has had some injuries, but overall now in his 32nd career start, he has a career rating of just 67 this season. He has 4 more interceptions than touchdown passes. Special holiday edition of the Monday Night Football on ESPN coming your way next.
After the bench did more than its fair share in the first half. Here's Gay, a part of the rally here in the second half.
Whirl away.
About next year if they get all their guys back, the people that were injured this year.
And how about Sam Concotto? R.W. McCorders can't catch him.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Wind at 10 miles an hour, and we're ready to get things underway as the Ravens host Green Bay. Matt Stover will be kicking off. Aaron Elling is a guy who's been active a lot this year as a kickoff man for them, but he's inactive tonight. Ahmad Carroll is back to receive for the Green Bay Packers. And Brett Favre will go right to work. 219th consecutive regular season start coming up with Brett Favre, and here we go from Baltimore. We start with an immediate flag from Tom White's crew, so you're going to get an offside on the opening kickoff against Baltimore as Vontae Leach runs the kick back to the 31, all bundled up. Mr. White will tell us that the Ravens were offside.
Going to be an interesting decision here for the Green Bay Packers. It was kind of a short kick, so do you take the penalty or do you just take the play? I'd make them kick it over again.
Offside, number 56 on a kicking team. They have elected to take the 5-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
Well, they tack on the 5 at the end, so in effect you bring it out to the 36-yard line.
And I probably would have gotten a little greedy there and think, you know, with that bad kick, maybe there's another one in that bag. So let's see if we can get a worse kick and maybe a better return. But this isn't bad.
The 36 isn't bad. And again, you're right, John, in the sense that Aaron Elling's been their kickoff guy, inactive tonight. Stover, a shorter kickoff man. And this is Samcon Gatto, a great story, picking up one. It'll be 2nd and 9. Let's take a look at the Green Bay Chargers.
Brett Favre, the University of Southern Mississippi.
Samcon Gatto, Liberty University.
William Henderson, North Carolina. Robert Ferguson, Texas A&M. Donald Driver, Alcorn State. David Martin, Tennessee. Chad Clifton, Tennessee. Scott Wells, Tennessee. Mike Flanagan, UCLA. William Whitaker, Michigan State. Mark Tauscher, Wisconsin.
Tennessee Volunteers well represented. It's 2nd down and 8 now. There is what they call that U71 with Kevin Barry lined up outside, and Favre's first pass of the night is a little too high for David Martin. And let's take a look at the Baltimore defense.
Jared Johnson, Alabama.
Ma'ake Utah. Kelly Gregg, Oklahoma.
Davis Thomas, Rockford Elementary. Bart Scott, Southern Illinois. Tommy Polly, Florida State. T. Sizzles, A-State. Chris McAllister, University of Arizona. Avery, Miami. Deion Sanders, Florida State University. Samai Rowe, Florida State.
Deion getting the start tonight. He's normally the extra defensive back, the nickel back, but getting the start tonight. 3rd down and 8. At the 38-yard line, Favre out of the shotgun. Ravens show blitz. Here they come. It's picked up, and then Favre throws off his back foot, and the pass is incomplete. Chad Williams coming in from the safety spot, and Terrell Suggs coming in from his outside linebacker spot.
Right, and Davis Thomas, number 96, comes right up the middle. He's what they call the X factor. He goes all over. He'll be an outside linebacker. He'll be a safety. He'll be every position. And here he comes as an inside linebacker right up the middle.
Now B.J. Sander to kick, and B.J. Sams to run it back. So B.J. to B.J. Sams runs back both punts and kickoffs for Baltimore. And before the snap here,
The ball he placed in the spot where he threw the ball from, since it's greater than 10 yards, and it's lost it down. 4th down.
and that was a flag that came in so late. The flag was for intentional grounding, and you talk about a post-mortem.
You think they're paying him back for Samcon Gatto's play last week?
They might be. They found a loophole. We'll talk about that play, and it helped win the game against Detroit as the kick was fielded by Sams, and Sams escapes. About 4 Packers had a shot at him, and finally he's dragged down from behind at the 18-yard line. So the coverage was good, but the tackling was horrible. And Jaron Wishlam is the man who was finally able to run him down.
You know, the Packers have had a lot of problems this year that, you know, that we know about the injuries and all the things, the offense and the defense. And one of their problems is special teams. And in special teams, it's just right here, coverage. And that, as you said, wasn't bad coverage. They had the guys there. They just got down there and didn't make a tackle. But did you see that block of Ed Reed? Watch it right there. I mean, that is what you call a decleater.
And that's on the punter, B.J. Sander. The ball is at the 18-yard line after the 41-yard punt and 49-yard run back. Bowler quarterback. The running back is Jamal Lewis. Powell will go to the air, throws underneath, checks off, and hits Lewis coming out of the backfield. He takes it to the 11-yard line, gain of 7. Nick Barnett makes the tackle. Kyle Bowler suffered a toe injury on opening night against Indianapolis, then didn't see action again until midseason. There are his numbers. John talked about it at the top, and in effect, a man fighting for his job, fighting to be the Ravens starter in the 2006 season.
Yeah, I talked to him the other day, and this is one of the areas that he really worries about is this red zone. He says he tends to press too much when he gets down here.
Second and a long 2, and they give it to Lewis, and now it's going to be first down and goal. The Ravens have been terrible in the red zone. Green Bay, meanwhile, has been tremendous defending against first and goal. As you can see, since Brian Billick took over in 1999 and his pedigree on the offensive side, Baltimore worst in the league in the red zone. Into the end zone 41.8% of the time. The average team gets in about 50%.
I'll tell you what gets you well quickly, though, is a good running game.
And here's Lewis, and Lewis has not been providing that this season. Jamal Lewis with a flag thrown here. 2,000-yard year a couple of seasons ago, and now they're going to come back on the holding call. And for Jamal Lewis, who spent time in jail in the offseason, then had knee surgery, played very little in preseason, comes into the game averaging a paltry 3.1 yards per carry.
You know, and part of that is the injury, and, you know, part of that is the offseason and not playing much in the preseason and so on. But another part of it is this offensive line of the Ravens has been very inconsistent. And when you look at a team that is inconsistent, I'll tell you this, it always starts with the offensive line.
That hold was on Edwin Mulitalo, the left guard. First and goal now from the 15. Bowler is under pressure. Flushed out on the run inside the 10, and then gets banged out of bounds at the 6-yard line by Nick Collins, the rookie safety from Bethune-Cookman.
You know, the injury to Kyle Bowler is his right toe, and he says he has a little trouble doing this. You know, that when he goes back, he has to push off that right foot. In fact, that right shoe that he's wearing is bigger than the left. He has an orthotic in there. And last week he just started to run, and then he stumbled and fumbled, and, you know, he looked like the foot was bothering him. That time he ran, he looked okay.
He's 6'3", he's 220, played his college ball at the University of California at Berkeley. Back to the ground they go, and this time they give it to Chester Taylor, who has seen a good deal of the ball carrying in recent weeks, spelling Jamal Lewis. Lewis missing last week with a hand injury. Lewis on the bench for the moment. Baja Biamila made the last tackle.
Yeah, and this is one of the problems that Kyle Bowler has down here is you don't want field goals, you want touchdowns. But when you get in the red zone, you don't want to force it either. So if someone's not open, you just have to throw it away and take the field goal sometimes. But they feel they really need touchdowns in this game.
3 wides here to the back of the end zone. They go for a touchdown. Todd Heath, the tight end and Bowler's favorite target over the last 3 seasons. So the Packers blitz, it's picked up, and to the back of the end zone to the tight end to make it 6-0 Baltimore.
And this is Kyle Bowler's favorite receiver. You see him, they split him out here a little. They put him in the slot. So he's going to get a free release. He's not going to get jammed up there. And then the Packers come on a blitz, so he gets man on man, and Kyle Bowler throws it perfectly right up over the defender and into Todd Heath's hands.
5th touchdown catch of the season for Heath. Matt Stover for the extra point. So the big run back by Sams off the sloppy tackling by Green Bay sets up the Baltimore Ravens. 4 minutes into the game, 7-0.
Las Vegas is the site for another season of poker. All your favorite card players have returned to compete for big cash prizes, while a newcomer has his sights set on the ultimate title. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the 2005 World Series of Poker. Friday on ESPN.
By Goodyear. Baltimore Ravens taking advantage of that run back. Clear skies, near full moon, not quite. Matched over to kick off again. Ahmad Carroll to run it back. Better kickoff than the first one to the 5-yard line. Carroll. Flag. He takes it to the 29-yard line. Marker at the 20.
And that's going to be against Green Bay, too. That was one of those illegal blocks in the back. I saw it. It was right in front of the ball carrier and maybe more importantly, right in front of the official.
Tom White detects it. And Brett Favre will start in a deeper hole.
Illegal block in the back. During the return, number 67, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Brett Favre, take a look at his first 6 games this season. Those numbers good, even though they lost some close games. But over the last 7 games, as you can see, very un-Favre-like. 5 touchdowns, 14 picks, and a 60.7 rating. And no TDs in his last 106 passes, and that's the longest drought in that area of his career.
This is an interesting defense here, Al. It's 4 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, and only 3 defensive backs.
And this is Sam Condato, the rookie sensation out of Liberty University, who was in Kansas City's camp and got released, who moved to the United States from Nigeria at the age of 9 and was a 3rd-string back in college and a sudden star now with the Packers.
Yeah, and here's the defense we were talking about. Here's 1, 2, here's the 3, 4. I mean, that's a 4 lineman, and then here's a linebacker, here's a linebacker, here's a linebacker, and 1 over there, and they run right at it. I mean, it's a defense to stop the run. And they have Kevin Berry in there at tight end, and they ran right at him.
26-yard run for Gatto. Now Favre checked off and throw it outside, and he hits Gatto, and Gatto gets taken down at the 35. For Green Bay, of course, Amon Green is the guy. Well, he got hurt, and then Najee Davenport got hurt. And then they went to Tony Fisher, and he got hurt. So all of a sudden, they pick up Samcon Gatto at 226 pounds, and of course the similarity exists. He's not quite as big as was the old Nigerian nightmare, Christian Okoye of Kansas City, but this kid has really made some mark over the last few weeks. 171 yards last week in that overtime win against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, he's a pretty big guy. He has very strong legs, good drive, and very good vision now.
2nd down and 9. That's great protection, enabling Favre to go deep into double coverage, and it is nearly picked off by Ed Reed, last year's Defensive Player of the Year, who has missed a handful of games because of a high ankle sprain, back in the lineup and nearly had the pick.
Yeah, that was a nothing play. That was a bad decision here by Brett Favre. You see, Donald Driver didn't have anything there. I mean, he was double covered. He didn't have a chance. There was no place to put the ball. I mean, both defenders were behind him. The only thing he could have done is put it on his back shoulder and bring him back. But with 2 defenders over the top, that was a bad place to put that ball.
2 defenders and 2 guys have each been to a Pro Bowl. Reed and Samari roll. 3rd down and 9. Out of the gun, underneath. Henderson makes the catch. And Henderson is taken down about 3 yards shy of the first down, up at the 41-yard line by Deion Sanders. Who says Deion doesn't tackle?
Well, he's playing safety now, and in nickel he plays corner, so he'll play on the slot, and then on 1st and 2nd down they got him playing what they call the deep safety or the back safety. So they're going to have a deep safety, Deion being back, and Ed Reed being the up safety.
Sander to kick, B.J. Sams to run it back. Sander none the worse for wear, you would think, after that hard hard block by Reed on the run back, and the ball rolls dead at the 24-yard line. So Bowler and company go back to work with 8:55 left in the opening quarter here in Baltimore. And the Ravens on top of the Packers 7-0.
Hollywood has the Academy Awards. Now poker has the Royal Flush Awards, better known as the Flushies. 2004 was the year that the highlight culture invaded poker, raising the ante on post-hand celebrations. Greg Ramers may have been the biggest. Matthias Anderson, the loudest. There was one other performance, however, that Flushies could not ignore. With entrances so grand, reactions so spectacular, and perhaps the best line ever spoken after getting busted.
If there weren't luck involved, I guess I'd win every one.
Phil Hellmuth turned in a transcendent performance in 2004, earning him the Flushie for Performance of the Year.
End of interview.
The Baltimore Harbor on this clear 19th night of December, where the Baltimore Ravens have gotten off to a good start. We'll be working in about 6 days. Get your shopping done as we come back to M&T Bank Stadium from the 25-yard line, and it's a draw play, and this is Jamal Lewis swinging to the outside and picking up the first down. One of the few long runs of late for Lewis, who's had a real rough time.
Unbelievable. You see what happened to Ahmad Carroll, number 28, the corner. He comes on a blitz, and he's free. And he's going to come from this side here, and Jamal Lewis is just going to run right by him. Now, that's poor football. I mean, when you bring a guy on a blitz and he's free, he just can't run by the ball carrier. I mean, here he comes right here. Boom, you got to get him. You have to make the play. I mean, that's kind of been Green Bay's year. Their defense, their run defense, all those kinds of things.
Up at the 42-yard line, and only a third run of 15 or more for Lewis this season. And Todd Heap to the outside, picks up about 8. Let's take a look at the Baltimore offense.
Kyle Bowler, California. Jamal Lewis, University of Tennessee. Ovi Mahaley, Wake Forest. Mark Clayton,
Oklahoma. Derek Mason, Mumford High School.
Todd Heap, Arizona State University.
Jonathan Ogden, UCLA.
Edwin Militalo, Arizona.
Mike Flynn, University of Maine.
Brian Rimp, East Carolina. Tony Pashos, University of Illinois.
Mark Clayton crooning his way into your living rooms. He was the #1 draft choice out of Oklahoma. And he's really come on. And that pass is caught by Derek Mason, the longtime Titan. He's going to look for a flag on a face mask call, and he's going to get one as well, as Al Harris comes in to make the stop after a 22-yard gain, with more to come.
And that was a good pattern there by Derek Mason, who was on Al Harris, who's playing a man-to-man. They always put
personal foul. Grasping inside the helmet at the face mask. Number 37. They half the distance to the goal. First down.
They always put Al Harris on, the guy that they think is their best receiver. He's on Derek Mason right here. But watch the quickness that Mason makes. He starts up, and then he gets on the inside shoulder, and he runs in the end, then makes it across, and Kyle Bowler hits him perfectly.
Penalty on Harris. Ball at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10. Halfway through the period. Lewis to the 11. Here's the Green Bay defense.
Aaron Campman, Iowa.
Grady Jackson, Knoxville College.
Cullen Jenkins, Central Michigan.
Kabir Bajabia-Miller, San Diego State.
Paris Lim, Richmond. Nick Barnett, Oregon State.
Roy Manning, Michigan. Moreeeee Carroll, Arkansas. Mark Roman, Louisiana State University.
Nick Collins, Bethune-Cookman College. Al Harris, A&M Kingsville.
Harris singled out yesterday by Mike Sherman. Also, Jim Bates is having a very good season.
Look at this formation here, Al. Bowler split out.
With Bowler split out, the snap goes to Clayton, their #1 draft choice, who goes around the corner and gets into the end zone. So teams have been running that all year long. Teams all across the league snapping it to a wideout, snapping it to a running back, having the quarterback flanked out, and they do it here with Mark Clayton, their #1 pick out of Oklahoma.
You know, here's Clayton right here, and he's one of those guys with great speed and quickness, a guy that you just want to get the ball in his hands. And you can do that on a screen pass, you can do it on a short pass, and now, as you say, they're putting those guys in the backfield and just direct snapping to them.
Stover for the point after you have a whistle before the snap. It's also a good thing Clayton's a receiver because the snap wasn't very good. It was high, and he was able to one-handed take it down and get around the corner.
False start. Number 86, offense, 5-yard penalty. We'll still play to try.
Here's another look. Bowler switches with him, and he's split out to the left as a wide receiver. Clayton comes in, and he becomes like the quarterback in shotgun, takes a direct snap, and just runs a sweep to the right. As far as where in the heck did that one come from?
After the penalty, the extra point is good. And so the Baltimore Ravens, who've had a very difficult time scoring points all season long. Their offense has been anemic, but not so far tonight, 14-0.
After the bench did more than its fair share in the first half. Here's Gay, a part of the rally here in the second half.
Whirl away.
About next year if they get all their guys back, the people that were injured this year.
And how about Sam Congado? R.W. McCorders can't catch him.
Las Vegas is the site for another season of poker. All your favorite card players have returned to compete for big cash prizes. While a newcomer has his sights set on the ultimate title. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the 2005 World Series of Poker. Friday on ESPN.
The NBA on ESPN Live Thursday. Live Thursday, the NBA on ESPN.
1 week from tonight, the Week 16 edition of Monday Night Football presented by Telcel. The New England Patriots taking on the Jets. The Pats haven't had the type of year that they had hoped, but they have clinched a spot in the playoffs. They'll be facing a longtime rival in the AFC East, the Jets.
And the Jets next Monday night. Lamar Powell to run the kickback from the 12-yard line, and this is exactly what Green Bay needs to try to get back into the game, but sure enough, there is a flag. Well, we've already had 6 assessed penalties tonight in 8 minutes plus. Tom White staying warm by whistling every infraction that his crew detects. And what else is new?
Don't they usually detect more than normal?
They certainly do. Tom has spent more time on live primetime television than anybody in the history of the medium through the years. 57-yard kickoff return before the penalty. Ahmad Carroll getting conditional congratulations.
Right, because it's
Personal
going against
foul.
the Ravens.
Low block. Number 3. During the return. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's the kicker, Matt Stover. So the kickers have been involved tonight. Carroll getting the block here by the kicker Stover. Earlier we saw Sanders get blocked by Ed Reed. And it all counts. 6:43 left in the period. 14-0 Ravens.
Hello from the ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass studio. The three of us would like to wish you all the very best for the forthcoming festive season.
Happy holidays from all of us here on ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass.
I hope your team bulges the old onion bag over the holiday period. Happy holidays, folks.
And in the meantime, we'll do our best not to get into any more arguments. Cheers.
Baltimore on top 14-0. And after the run back and the penalty, take a look at the penalty here on the kicker.
It's Matt Stover there. What they say is when you're on a cover team, you can't go and cut that guy that's a blocker. They put that rule in years ago for kickoff coverage. Kickers going into the wedge.
On 1st and 10, Samcon Gatto to the 14-yard line. Kiamato makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
I'll tell you one thing about this Raven defense. They have good, tough defensive linemen that are tough to move, and they have speedy linebackers, and they have Rex Ryan as a coordinator. And I'll say this about their defense: if he doesn't want you to run, you're not going to run. I mean, the best time to run against the Ravens is when they think you're going to pass.
So Buddy Ryan. 2nd down and 9. Here comes Gatto over the left side, and he gets taken down at the 10-yard line by Bart Scott, 57, doing a pretty good job getting a chance to play when Ray Lewis got hurt.
You know who's doing a pretty good job is Kevin Barry. He's been in there. He's the tackle, the extra tackle that goes in and plays tight ends. And every time he goes in and plays tight end, they run at him. You see here he blocks down. He's the guy that really started to create that hole for Gatto on that last play.
Bubba Frank's hurt, not in the lineup. Barry getting to play a lot outside, and Favre throws, and it's tipped, and it's incomplete. It was tipped by Ed Reed on a pass intended for the tight end David Martin.
Yeah, that was just a zone, and they made Brett Favre throw it into the end zone. You'll see Ed Reed is just back there in center field, but when the ball's thrown, there's going to be 7 black jerseys in or around the end zone. And that is tough to throw in. I mean, they just rush 4, drop 7, drop the 7 right into the end zone.
Ryan Longwell for a 27-yard field goal attempt that is good. So it's all set up by Carroll's run back plus the penalty. They're on the board, or the Packers down by 11.
On each offensive play, the quarterback will hand the ball off for a running play or pass the ball. There are a number of different patterns that his receivers will run in order to elude the defense. Here are some of the more common pass patterns or pass routes. In a post route, the wide receivers run straight down the field and then cuts toward the goalpost, sometimes using the hash marks painted on the field as a guide. The quarterback times a long pass, usually 40 to 50 yards, slightly beyond the receiver, in hopes that the receiver outruns his defender and catches the ball in stride towards the end zone. A streak or fly route is a 20 to 40-yard pass pattern where the wide receiver runs straight down the field, usually trying to beat his defender in a one-on-one matchup. A swing route is designed for a running back. After lining up as if he will take a handoff, he instead runs towards the sideline. The quarterback times his pass to reach the running back near the sideline as he turns to run up the field.
M&T Bank Stadium used to be Raven Stadium. A couple of other names along the way. Built by the city when Art Modell left Cleveland following the '95 campaign. renamed the team the Ravens. The records and the colors and all of the rest stayed in Cleveland. That's why Jim Brown does not hold this franchise's record. Any records for rushing, but the old Cleveland Browns, now the new Cleveland Browns. This team's treated very much in terms of an expansion team in terms of the records beginning in '96. Chester Taylor to run the kick back, and he brings it back up to the 33-yard line. Let's check in with Sam Ryan.
Alan, you and John were talking about Jamal Lewis a little bit earlier in the running game. He told me he'd really like to get 20 to 25 carries a game. He's been seeing about 10 to 15, but said to me there was no wedge between himself and Brian Billick. Now, some statements he made last week were taken out of context. He was talking to the media about the 10 to 15 carries, and someone had said, do you talk to your coach about it? He said, well, I don't talk to Billick about it. It's not my job to. My job is just to go out there and play. I talk to my position coach. Well, that suddenly became Jamal and Brian Billick don't speak to each other. When I asked Brian about it, he said, we'd love to give Jamal the 20, 25, 30 carries a game, but right now our running game just isn't there.
Something taken out of context? Mark Clayton on an end around. It's back to about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what they tried to do is they tried to run an option with Mark Clayton. It's interesting that they came kind of back-to-back with it. The last play, they put him in shotgun, and he ran the ball for a touchdown. Here, watch this. It's going to be a handoff to him here, and then he has an option with Taylor there. And he decides to heck with the option, and he just turns it up, which is a smart play because the Packer defense played that pretty well.
Second down and 11. Lewis comes back in the game. They slot him to the right. Bowler juggled the snap from the gun, then throws, caught. Nice move by Derek Mason after slipping. Takes it up to the 40-yard line. The rookie Nick Collins makes the tackle. It'll be third down and 3.
You know, I heard all this talk about Kyle Bowler and how he was hyper and everything was too quick. His reads were too quick. He was throwing too quick. He looks pretty doggone good.